Good morning, everybody. Nobody's in here yet, but that's fine. Notifications aren't going out just yet, so we got to turn that down. All right, testing 1 2. Check. Hey, check. There we go. Let's see. Let's look at some volumes this morning. We're live, just in case you didn't know. If you're watching replay, I appreciate you. There we go. There's the notifications finally coming in. Yeah. Let's X that out. So I'm looking at the other screen here. So I'll let you guys kind of step in this morning. I know notifications aren't going out as quickly as I would like them to. But hey, that's the challenge of being a smaller YouTuber. And I went live less than 12 hours ago, so that's a big part of it too. When you go live too many times, YouTube tends to be like, "Hey dude, get over yourself." Or dudette, get over yourself and stop going live. We're gonna kill your algorithms here for a second. And I had a good crowd last night. I kept it pretty short too. I think we were under an hour yesterday, talking about the proper research for looking at a company that you may potentially want to work or not want to work. What was I doing here? I'm kind of scrambled. It's Monday morning. Hopefully you had a profitable and or restful weekend. Okay, so we don't have that report yet. All right, so I was checking the email, see if I had this report coming in. We'll do some load volumes. Excuse me. Now, load volumes tend to be a little bit off on Monday mornings because you have leftovers from the weekend that wasn't covered. And yeah, so anyways, let's do some shout outs. We'll get some people in here and yeah, let's look at some volumes, shall we? All right, we got Jerome, good morning. Sterling, good morning. Shannon, good morning. Max Force, good morning. Greg Zimmer, how's it going? I got your text. I think I replied to you. I'll touch bases with you after you get loaded. Hit the like upon entry, please. Thank you. Donnie Luke, good morning. Big Houston, good morning. I saw that Big Houston put up a video. I think that was in my notifications. Hauling steel to Pittsburgh. Used to haul steel out of Pittsburgh. Jose, what's up? Sorry, I'm checking. The dog's wandering around here. Make sure he doesn't need out. Jeremy Rice, good morning. Shannon, that was a good live. Yeah, I almost didn't do it live, but I thought we can get some interaction going. And it was a good algorithm because I had about 60 people in here, which is pretty good for me. You know, normally I average about between 20 and 30, maybe 40 on a good morning. Maybe 50 if I'm not being negative Nancy, which, you know, I have a tendency to do at times. I think it stresses some people out if I'm too negative, which is understandable. I don't want to be one of them fear monger, you know, the world's going to end kind of stuff. I don't want to feed into that. Pam, what's up? Chuck for Life, good morning. Big Tail, what's up? Yeah, bitches. Big Rig CO is in the house. I'm my happiest when I don't work Monday. Sterling and I agree with that. The Bucky Show, good morning. So we have something Red Diesel, good morning. I believe Wednesday we have a concert we're going to. We're going to the Slipknot concert. And that'll be good. That'll be interesting. That'll be my my youngest first real metal concert. So we're doing that. And seem like there's something else going on this week. I got one truck going on vacation after this load, I think, if I remember correctly. So, and it's about time for me to take my truck and trailer to get a DOT, get the 90-day done for it. So, real is real, though. It's even if it's negative, right? I try to hey, it sucks, but here's what we can do about it. That's the approach I try to do. And but I tend to be a little bit more negative than I should be. Strength for today over tomorrow. I should live by that, and I do. I really do, but sometimes it doesn't come out that way. Truck is fixed. Well, good deal. That was fast. Thanks. Mine went longer than I wanted, but I was positive at least. It was positive at least. You talk about your live feed? He did like almost a 3-hour live feed Sunday morning. Hold on. One out. Dang dog. I don't know what he wants. So look, Monday mornings, here's what Monday mornings are like for me. I got to reevaluate. I got to evaluate, not reevaluate, but evaluate where the trucks are, what my strategies are with each truck. And sometimes the strategies work, sometimes it doesn't. We're booked ahead. So, there should be one truck picking up today, one truck picked up yesterday. And even though I don't normally like weekend pickups because there's a lot of potential to go wrong, the particular broker was kind of on it. We needed a pickup number and they had it, which is good. And there was no issues with the pickup. Experience has said, hey, you know what? Here's a load that's supposed to pick up Saturday or Sunday, and then it ends up being a wrong pickup number, or the load doesn't exist, or you get there like, no, this actually picks up tomorrow or whatever. And now what do? You're dead in the water, because unless you're finding that one broker that's put his cell phone number in the load description to desperately book a load, it costs you a whole weekend. And sometimes truck repairs, we had an issue where truck repair was like, hey, I can't leave out till Saturday, and we end up not being able to find something till Sunday that was worth doing. So it's been my experience for the last, several weeks that booking on Friday afternoon, there's no leverage at all whatsoever. We didn't find out if the truck was going to be able to go until, Friday morning we knew, but we knew that we wanted to leave out Saturday. And there was just no leverage. None at all. And the pickings were slim. I mean, when they're wanting to only pay like $1.80 a mile for short stuff, like 100-mile stuff, are you kidding me? So that can make you feel a little bit frustrated when you see that. But I also noticed that there was like less loads picking up on Saturday than Sunday, so we ended up having to pick up on Sunday. So the driver got an extra day off, which is good. We got a 34, and now we can run full on. But yeah, so getting your loads booked, and I tried to have it booked before the weekday was out, but it just, and I did. I mean, I had the Sunday load booked like by Friday afternoon, but still, it was, Fridays are tricky, and Big Rig CEO has talked about booking ahead, and that seems to work well in his world. and it's nice having that breathing room. It's when I'm forced to book at the last minute, because of a load cancellation or a truck repair or something like that. That's it. That becomes a challenge, and that's the worst part about this market. You could sit there and gripe about the rates all day long, but the part I don't like is do you move out of desperation, or do you wait, or do you deadhead? Either way, you're looking at a lower rate. If you're deadheading 300 miles just to grab an extra 50 cents a mile, then are you really making any more money? You have to do the math. Math is hard. So, thank you, Bucky Show. I appreciate that. What's your thing say? Keep calm and expedite? Is that what that says? Thank you for your membership. Shannon gifted a bunch of people 10 memberships during Saturday morning's negative live feed. And I appreciate that, Shannon. Thank you very much. But I guess the people didn't know who did that. So if you have a new membership that you didn't pay for, that was Shannon. Shannon also is a bootlegger, and she bootlegged my coffee mug. So, I guess that's a true compliment, but you want the real thing, right? Right? You want the real thing. And I'll give you the real mug if you want. Bootleggers here. As long as you don't start printing my t-shirts. So let's look at the hot market map, shall we? 123 low board 48065 to check it out for 30 days free. And this is your most important map in my book, right here. This tells you the volumes. Same thing with the DAP board. Look at the load ratios. Those are the states that with the highest numbers are going to have a little bit of leverage. This is for all trailers. So, Utah is green. So I wonder what's making it green. So let's check Van, see if it stays green. Nope. It's orange though. So let's go to Reefer. Nope. It's orange there. So and we'll go back to these. Let's go to Step Deck. So I can't discover. Let's see. Flatbed. Apply. No, that makes it worse. So who knows why Utah's green on all trailers? Probably something silly like cargo van or something like that. I like 123. They break down the trailers a little bit more deeper than what DAT does. Like removable gooseneck. Man, I can't talk. Let's take that out. Ah, there it is. So if you have a removable gooseneck, RGN for short, Utah's a decent state. So I wonder why. Is there an auction place that's doing pretty good with that? Who knows? But when I see a green state, I want to know why. Like New Mexico's green now. Why? Because of pumpkins coming out of Farmington. It's red now, but again, these are Monday morning. I mean, this is almost kind of a waste of time on a Monday morning before business hours because these are older numbers. So it's hard to judge. Like you can't be on the low board Monday morning looking at this map and thinking, okay, you're going to strategize your whole week with it. So I tend to keep with the same strategy. Look at Colorado be green for Van. That's interesting. I think furniture is starting to ship now. I know there's some furniture places in North Carolina that are starting to ship. Furniture is great if you're a van guy because it's usually light and usually pays decent. You know, a lot of it can be multiple stop. Multiple stop is the way to go as long as the time makes sense. Like, don't do a multiple stop load that takes 2 weeks to do and it's only paying like $3,000 a week. Don't do that. But at the same time, if you can do a multiple stop load and it pays $3,000, you get it done in 2 days. Well, there's decent money with that, right? So you have to kind of look at, all your options. Sometimes multi stops are worth it. Sometimes they're not. Depends on the stops too. There was a load I looked at, and it was delivering at 3 stops, 3 Cisco's grocery warehouses. And so when you looked at the rate per day, because you literally delivered one on Monday, delivered one on Tuesday, and delivered one on Wednesday, and they only wanted to pay like $1,800 for that entire load for 800 miles. Are you kidding me? There's desperate, and then there's just stupid. I don't know how I don't know how and if that load was even covered. And that was one of the brokers that I use all the time, and even he was like, because I asked about it, it's like, well, what's this multi-stop load about? And he told me, he goes, man, it's a stinker. I've got no leverage on it, and you don't want that. I'm like, yeah, looking at it, yeah, I definitely don't want it. Good morning. How do you feel today? Can you give me some tips on where to run reefers nowadays? Thanks. Actually, yes, we can do that right now. There's your reefer states right there. Dairy, processed food up in the north, and eggs, raw poultry in the Midwest there, Missouri, Tennessee. Um, Not sure what comes out of these areas. Big Rig, if you're watching, maybe you can tell me what comes out of these areas as far as reefer freight goes. I tend to not go down there with the reefer. I pretty much stay in the same 4-state region when it comes to reefer. A lot of processed frozen party food is moving right now. A lot of candy. Um, I don't think there's too much Halloween candy moving right now, but Christmas candy's moving. Frozen items for a Thanksgiving, that kind of stuff is moving right now. The That's where experience kind of comes in. Follow patterns. There was a time in dry van where, like, especially if you were at Schneider, there was an uptick in Frito-Lay and Coke and Pepsi, and beer loads would pop up because of football season, NFL. There's a big commodity, especially right for the Super Bowl. That kind of what kind of keeps you going during the winter after Christmas is stuff related to those items. And it could be the finished product, or it could be uh, materials for building the products, such as packaging. And then the wintertime reefer picks up a little bit for freeze protect. If you're shipping water or Coke or Pepsi or even beer, and you're taking it up to, like, say, I don't know, Minneapolis, and it's 20 below zero, guess what? You need to put that in a reefer. It still needs to move. but now it's only going on a reefer. So van kind of drops off a little bit. Be careful if you're going south. Keep an eye. It's hurricane season, so you want to make sure that you're not going to an area where that's potentially being hit with a hurricane. And is there money going into a hurricane relief? Absolutely, but what are you going to get out? If you go into a hurricane area that has no power, are you going to get unloaded? How long are you going to sit? And will you be able to get reloaded coming out of there? Because look, if the warehouse doesn't have power, they're not going to load you. I've dealt with that personally. I picked up. I was scheduled to pick up a load in Dallas. It was actually Lancaster, Texas. There, right off of 20. I had trouble finding the shipper because the power was out. And what had happened was there was a severe thunderstorm that came through and knocked off the power line, main power line, and that power line dropped against I-20. So I had to go around that mess. Then I get to the shipper and there's no power. Schneider gave me my Tonu and went on my merry way. That's the problem with electric forklifts and no light to see. Wheelbarrow, what's up? Donnie Luke, can't see Utah or being green. Well, if you have RGN, it's green. The Bucky Show, I had to redo my channel. I did a James Best. Did you burn it down? Yes, I did a video explaining. Burning videos down or burning channels down. Yeah, YouTube is finicky. Pale Rider TV, glad to see you up and rolling. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're able to still do the convoy thing. So that's your reefer states there. I'm not even going to say your name because I don't want to butcher it, but there's your reefer states. Now, van, watch the similarities. So when it comes to production, this area is your biggest production. Okay? This area is production and port. And Florida's showing green. That's interesting. So now Arkansas has been strong for a while. Same thing with Mississippi, but I've noticed that Louisiana, Alabama have not been so good. I've been avoiding those states for the most part. And what I have noticed is that if you want to go from Ohio or Indiana to go to Mississippi or Louisiana, they're not wanting to pay, which is strange because they're not paying to come out of this. The rates that I saw coming out of Tennessee for van were kind of surprising last week. That's where I run in the Midwest and Southeast. So when it comes to the Southeast, I try to stay around Savannah, maybe Charlotte. Charlotte one time was a good market. It's kind of diminished a little bit. Hold on a second. Checking on something here. So Triple T's got a good strategy and it's working for him. So when you see Florida green like this all of a sudden, you have to wonder what's going on. probably an uptick in flowers. Mums are moving right now. But Minnesota's kind of a tricky state. All right, I'm back. Then why is Colorado green? Well, furniture, beer. But you got to watch the beer. You got to make sure here's the thing with beer, right? So Triple T probably doesn't have to worry about it because Landstar's got all those permits that you need. But if you're working for a small, let's say 10, 20 truck carrier or even 3 or by yourself on your own authority, you need to check. Convoy's got a really good beer permit resource. So it will tell you. Let's see if I can find this. Let's unshare the screen here. Let's see if I can find this. All right, so let's share the screen now. So this is your convoy, maybe. It's your convoy beer permit, okay? Let's see if we can zoom in on this. All right, so let's say you do a beer load and the broker says you don't need a permit. Well, that can open the broker to some liability if the carrier gets fined for taking beer through a state or to a state that you needed a permit for. So what Convoy did is they said, you know what, we're going to do this work for you, and these are the states that you need to have a beer permit. Now, Convoy doesn't question you. Like if I decide to take a beer load, through Convoy, they're not be like, we better make sure you have the permit. No, they're not doing that, and that's not the broker's job. Broker's job is not to make sure that you have the proper permits, unless you're oversized. Then the broker's got to help you out with that. But when it comes to alcohol and beer permits, and some states differentiate between beer and alcohol, like Missouri. So here's if it says NA, you don't need anything. And you have 4 categories: within, from, to, through. Okay? So if there's an X like Arkansas, you need a beer permit through the Arkansas Alcoholic Beverages, and they put you a link right here for it. To go within Arkansas, from Arkansas, to Arkansas, or through Arkansas. So now let's do some mapping here. So let's say I want to pick up a beer load in Missouri, and I want to there's a beer load going to, say, Arkansas, which I don't think that would ever happen because the way it's all, way Arkansas is. But let's say, could I pull it? No. Now, if I'm taking a load from St. Louis to Springfield, I can do that because not applicable, doesn't matter for carriers issued interstate operating authority, which we have here at Like Trucking, thanks to little old me. That was one of the first things Jeff did when I came over here, because he saw that there was a lot of Missouri to Missouri loads. So I could do that beer load, but if it went to Arkansas, no. Now, let's say there's a beer load going from here to Oklahoma, St. Louis to Oklahoma. Well, let's see. Well, I can get through Missouri, but let's look at Oklahoma. Boom. Nope. You got an annual, and then you need a permit for through, in, out, at. So some companies go as far as printing this out and putting in the driver's permit book. Now, this is beer only. Okay, this is not spirits. This is not heavy alcohol like rum, that kind of stuff. So that's a whole different game. A lot of states separate or differentiate the two. So yeah, this convoy beer permit is a great resource. And all you got to do is Google it, and it'll show up on your phone. But let's say you're taking a load from St. Louis, beer load to Wisconsin. Let's say you're taking it to Green Bay. Well, Illinois, you don't need anything. And Wisconsin, you don't need anything. So you can take that load. So there's a good lane, beer that goes from St. Louis to Milwaukee area. So these are important details that you have to. So, what I hate is when a broker posts a load and then they tell you it's beer on the phone. Like, well, you just wasted my time, put me on hold for 5 minutes when he could have just put beer in the description. I wouldn't even called you. But I only do certain beer runs because of this. So, but if you're at Landstar Schneider, they should, there's the operative word, should. They should have all that for you. Check your permit book. That's the important detail there. Just took a load from South Carolina to Michigan for $4K to the truck. Is there any way you can show what states have freight running to Canadian provinces, primarily Ontario and British Columbia? I don't think so. I mean, we can. No, I don't think. Jeff. That's good. That's a good question for Jeff, but I don't think it shows Canadian now. I'm not sure with the DAT board if it will do that. You'll see loads going to Canada, but that'd be a good question for CDN if he gets in here. So we have loads coming from Canada down to US, but then we have to fight with everybody else for loads going home. I mean, you could do a lane. Like, let's see. Let's try. I'm sure 123. I mean, they're based out of Canada. Let me look here. Let's try rate check. Let's do Columbus, Ohio to Ontario. Ontario, Canada. Get right. So I wonder if load availability will do the same thing. It's just a density map. So if you wanted to do, let me put the screen up here. Sorry, I know boring watching a screen side. Of course, signal's low. There it goes. Let's see. So I think you just pick a place. Let's look at let's do a load search. There we go. Let's say we want to come out of Atlanta, Ontario. So that was California, wasn't it? Ontario can't. Yeah, wait, it doesn't. That was California. Yeah, so it's not giving me like Ontario, Canada. Oh, there it is. I'm kind of an idiot, guys, so just bear with me. I've never claimed to be the smartest YouTuber ever. Um, Look at Van. Do Van. Not a whole lot coming out of Atlanta. And they don't want to pay either. Look at that. So I guess wheel burner, the thing with Canada is it's the same rules apply as far as like if you go to the southeast, you're going to get a lower rate versus um, going to the Midwest. But then so I don't know. I don't know anything about the Canadian market, nor will I pretend that I do. So Sprinter vans, we can do Sprinter vans. We got moving van, straight box truck. Yeah, they don't have Sprinter. Oh, cargo van. Let's do that. Yeah, that's what the Sprinter van map looks like. Uh, yeah, that's a no go. There's one load outbound in Tennessee and one outbound in California. Cargo van is not um, lucrative, at least not on the 123 low board. So now, if you click on the dry van, it looks like this. We're all in trouble, right? Or Reefer. Check the rates for mule team loads. Enter destination Toronto. We could do that. From where? Where do you want to come from? Let's do a 250 to 250. Well, there's a few loads. Let's do highest rate. Click on that load. Oh, it's come out with PA stuff. So we got to change this. Um, New search. Let's do 10-mile radius, Toronto. No loads available. So new search. 50-mile. Let's do 100. Yeah, 1,700. Yeah, it's still going to New York. Here's the only one going to Canada. St. Catharines. Average rate is 18.98, 217 a mile. Goes in a van or reefer. It's a light load, so that's good. So I'm sure you can probably get about 21, 22 for that. So I imagine that higher rate, there's probably a multiple stop, or there's a situation, or because it's going into Canada. Obviously, um, going to Avon, New York is going to pay a little bit less. But also looks like that particular same broker. Well, no, it's two different brokers. So that's terrible. I screwed. I do expedite for load one. I won't do low boards for Sprinter van. I will stick with load one. Well, that's the thing. So I knew a Sprinter van person at Landstar, and it was pretty much feast or famine for them. Um, Constantly combing the low board, constantly. So it's a lot of work. Um, you pretty much have to post your truck and specialize. Load one, obviously, probably they've already got that niche. So self dispatch in a cargo van or Sprinter van is probably, as you could see from that map, is incredibly challenging. But that's just an assumption because I don't know anything about that world other than what a couple of people have told me. So that does not make me an expert whatsoever, just like Canadian freight. Um, so I mean, there's, let's take a look at the DAT here. Let me unshare the screen. And again, I'm only going to show one thing from the DAT. There's two tools I use on the DAT board. No, you're right, 100%. Well, thank you. All right. Quick rate lookup. Boink. You can type in any city. So whenever you're on those apps like CH Robinson or Convoy or whatever, and you want to know what averages are looking like in or out of an area, you've got this rate check. Just like 123's got the rate check as well. Um, you get your averages here. Low is $1.38, high is $1.92 to go from Columbus, Ohio to Ontario, California. So, and then you can switch it around. And to go from Ontario to Columbus, there's your averages. And you can kind of see this graph of the high and then the low. So, you can kind of see the trends coming across, right? The other tool that you want to use, I recommend you both get the lower edge, the trucker's edge on the DAT and get the 123 low board. Is this load ratio? Like California is looking a little bit stronger on volumes, 3386, 3179 coming out. That's not too bad. And I've noticed that rates have ticked a little bit up to go to California, which is good. Um, Colorado, look at the volumes in Colorado. Look at that. Is this van? Yep. That. So there's something going on here, and I want to know what that is. So you should be getting a good rate going into Colorado, and you should be getting a decent one out. But there's that operative word, should. We all know how I hate that word. I hate using that word. Look at Florida. Florida's got an uptick, but look at that load ratio though. 2322 going into Florida and 753 out. That's You're still not going to make squat coming out. So take your short hop and then find better loads elsewhere. Georgia looks dumb. Illinois looks great. Indiana looks good. Kansas is pretty even. Kentucky is looking pretty good. Out of curiosity, let's look at Tennessee because I've been struggling. Yeah, there should be no reason why they're wanting to not pay coming out of Tennessee, but other than it was Friday, right? So Tennessee is a good spot. Texas, got a lot of interstate Texas carriers that will haul that cheaper than you. So Virginia looks pretty good. So these are good volume numbers here, better than they've been in a while. Look at Wisconsin. So this correlates with the green states. Um, when it comes to the density maps, so they kind of correlate. Now the rates are different, of course. Um, and I think a lot of the average rates are lower on the 123 because of number one, it's a narrowed low board, but also because of the brokers that post on 123 tend to pay a little bit lower because they're wanting those new authorities that don't have any leverage. But you always ask for more. Always, you don't go by the posted rates. Posted rates are a psychological thing, right? And if that posted rate works for you, then book it. If it doesn't, don't be afraid to call. So, that's my tip for the day is don't let yourself be manipulated. And hey Fran, what's up? So I mean that's what we're dealing with. So Monday, so volumes are looking pretty good. The uptick that we were wanting for Christmas rate has happened a little bit. The only thing I've noticed is that it's not equating to better rates because there's still too many trucks out here. So keep that in mind. And other than that, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, you are super late. CDN Freight Broker. Wheelburner Express is a Canadian driver, I believe, and he was asking some questions about Canadian freight when it comes to regards of low boards. So, if you guys missed it, Friday we had both CDN and Sage. We had two brokers passionately discussing things. So check out Friday's live feed. I might just isolate those sections with those two and repost them if I get some time today. This week is looking to be a little bit light. I think one of my outside carriers is still not, still down. So they got another one that's going on vacation. So it's going to be a light week, which is probably good because I think later this week I got to deal with my own truck. So, but um, if there's no more comments or questions or concerns, or you want me to look at something for you, we can end this feed now. If not, so I appreciate everybody coming in. I appreciate the likes. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. Let's get my algorithms doing what I need them to do, and then also please subscribe to my my old channel. Although I haven't really figured what's this. And that's Snorelord OG. There's the old channel. We haven't quite picked our direction for that channel yet, but anyways, Truckers Education Network. Start over. What I missed? You missed nothing. I was showing off the 123 low board. Looked at a couple things on that, and then we've been talking about just Monday morning, conquer the week. So, Pale Rider says you missed me. Pale Rider was a live machine last week, man. You know, being in a hotel. You know you're a YouTuber when your first thing you want to do when you get a hotel is go live. That seems to be the thing. I remember back in the Periscope days before YouTube was you can go live on YouTube. We went live on Periscope, and I did a full week at a hotel because of my turbo being down. So that was a fun week, a fun and expensive week. So, but Jeff, you did not miss much. We're just kind of going over things. We're not being all doom and gloom, but we were just talking about, and we learned today that cargo van is not the way to go. I'll show you, Jeff. Let's do cargo van. Why don't we add straight box truck? Apply. Oh, straight truck looks a little bit better. But not much. But yeah, when you do cargo van only, that's what that map looks like. I should sit there and say this is van. Everybody with a van go to California or Tennessee. So use that for the thumbnail. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture. Oh, that guy's ugly. You ever like go to take a picture with your phone and you got it on selfie mode and you scare yourself with your own image? You ever done that? I do that all the time. There was some discussion on Shannon's channel how scary I looked. I think that's funny. Big Rick CO gives me crap all the time. So you're this big bearded death metal dude, and I'm like, nah, I'm a teddy bear. I'm a nice guy. Idea for a new series, Battle of YouTube Brokers, grudge match every week. Steve, did you provide any insight for Will Burner on rates on Ontario? No, I was able to get some rates going in out of Atlanta, but he was wanting more of a map of loads going into Canada. I guess we can do that. Let's try something here. Let's try. Let's go to load search. Jeff, maybe you can help me out with this. Let's do anywhere. Can you do anywhere from an origin? You can do Canadian regions. There you go. So let's maybe Jeff can help me out here. I want to do anywhere going to like Canadian provinces. So let's pick let's do we'll do Springfield. Why not? Actually, here's what we can do. There's how you do it, Steve. Apply. Oh. We got to do only certain regions here. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Apply. All right. Then let's do those two regions for Canada. And this is for Van. There you go. So this is from Connecticut, Maine, Mass, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Rhode Island. So you can see all the states there, and then so the highest rate is Illinois to Alberta. I don't know if that helps any, but you can kind of see where everything's coming from. Let's look at California, the Vancouver, Pepsi. You Canadians got to have your Carbolicious. So average rate is 1960. There's your high and low on the rates. They've been as high as 557. That's pretty cool. This is new. I haven't seen this before. No, web chat to book your load at pepsilogistics.com. That's very interesting. Huh. That's going up to Vancouver right there. So that's a straight shot north. So looks like we might have an issue I got to deal with. All right, guys, I got to end this live feed. I got to get to work. I got to deal with something. Unfortunately, majority of loads into Canada are on load link or their mother load board with tree letters. And Jeff says just pick 10 states. I think that's what I ended up doing. So, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, we'll end this feed. Look, I appreciate you guys. I know the low board stuff is boring for some people, but we do more than just show the low board. We want to show, deal with strategies, and maybe I can help, maybe I can't. Either way, I'm doing my part to make the industry a little bit easier for somebody. And the better that we can make it for ourselves, the better we make it for others. So, with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. And I'll leave you with this lovely, beautiful tune that makes you think of Mother Nature and peace.